Russia has rejected accusations that it endangered the lives of astronauts on board the International Space Station after it conducted a weapons test that created over 1,500 pieces of debris. The U.S. says Russia threatened the interests of all nations and called the test reckless and irresponsible. Experts say debris from the blast could damage the ISS. Russia insisted, though, that the blast did not pose a threat to orbital stations. Now, let me bring in Dr. Francisco Diego. He's an astronomer at University College London and also a fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society. Thank you there for joining us here on Euronews tonight. I want to start by asking you, how unusual is this kind of weapons test?
Yeah, well, it is quite unusual, but although several countries, including the United States, have also done that in the past, and certainly the debris is still in orbit around the Earth in a very uncontrolled way. This claim that this test doesn't affect the space station, well, it is probably not at the moment, but this debris is going to be in orbit around the Earth for many years, and who knows in the future. And it's not only the International Space Station, it's the Chinese space station as well that has 3 astronauts. So we have 10 astronauts in orbit at the moment, and they, to some extent, yes, there is a threat. But that's not exactly the point. I mean, the point is that these things are happening. What is the need to be testing, destroying satellites, while we will try instead of use technology to wipe out all the debris that is in orbit? It should be the other way around.
So, Dr. Diego, what do you think is behind this test?
Well, this test is a matter of a militarization of space. And all these countries, I mean, including China, India, the United States, and Russia, have done this test before. And if they are not stopped, they will continue to do so. There is an international, there's an outer space treaty by the United Nations that has several decades old. But all these activities are well stipulated in that treaty that hasn't been implemented and let alone enforced. That treaty should be enforced, and we should see this as the last of this test. We don't want to see more of these things, which are completely pointless and extremely dangerous.
So why are these treaties not enforced? Do they work? You know, are they less enforced in space than treaties would be on Earth?
Well, we see it's not on my area to criticize the United Nations, but you see the state of the world and the role of the United Nations, and then this is completely a decoration institution, really. We are talking about climate change, we are talking about so many things, and things still keep happening. We have a very important treaty, I mean, taking your point, about Antarctica. Antarctica is a continent that is pristine, is there for scientific research, and the treaty of the Antarctica Treaty is a very good example of what can be done to achieve international collaboration for peaceful and scientific purposes. I mean, we see these astronauts in the space station. They are doing science. They are collaborating, several countries collaborating. We need to see more of that and less of the military. Why is it necessary to militarize the space? It's completely ridiculous. And the Outer Space Treaty is very clear about that. It should be enforced, and the United Nations should have more power.
Dr. Francisco Diego from University College London, thank you so much for joining us here on Euronews tonight.